No, I think we'll see some growth. What we did recently, we've been hit fairly hard by this third wave, and we've had to downgrade our forecasts significantly for both this year and the next. We initially were looking at the growth of about 3% for this year, but with the third wave and the impact, most importantly, on the tourism outlook, we've downgraded that forecast to about between 1.5 to 2%, depending upon how well we do with our vaccine rollout. But in any case, we'll still see positive growth. It's likely to be lackluster for quite some time. We're an economy that's highly dependent upon tourism and the service sector. So this COVID crisis has hit us very hard, and our recovery will take quite some time, and will probably lag the region because, as I mentioned, we're much more heavily dependent on tourism than other economies, but we will still continue to see positive growth.
Okay, and that is reassuring, even though it is a bit cut from what you were hoping for, as you mentioned, just at a time when tourism was meant to be reopening. So what do you intend to do? I mean, do you envision that the bank that you will have to act again?
Our stance all along is that, all reasonable policy options are on the table. So if you look at what we've been doing, first and foremost, on the Bank of Thailand side, we try to ensure that our financial conditions remain accommodative and they're not an obstacle to the recovery of the economy. So we've kept policy rates quite low, 0.5%, some of the lowest in the region. And if you look at liquidity conditions and everything else in Thailand, there's ample liquidity in the system. So that's our first priority, is making sure that the monetary and financial conditions are supportive of the recovery. The other thing that we've been looking at very significantly is also trying to ensure and manage that the debt burden for households and SMEs in particular are manageable. So we've been taking measures to support debt restructuring, try to keep the debt burdens manageable. And lastly, we've been trying to look at the extension of new credit to make sure that the liquidity that's there goes to where it's really needed. If you look overall in Thailand, the liquidity measures, again, in aggregate are very, very ample by any measure, both in the banks and in terms of the bond markets and whatnot. But the problem has been that the liquidity that's there, the credit, hasn't been going where we want it to go. If you look, for example, at credit growth among large corporates, those have been going quite steadily, but credit growth to SMEs has not. So, which has really been an issue, less of liquidity, but more of credit risk. So the kind of measures we've been taking are measures like credit guarantees and whatnot to try to get that liquidity and credit channel to where it really needs to go, which is to the SME sectors. So I think those are the kind of measures that we've been undertaking, and we'll continue to do so. And like I said, if there are other measures that need to be taken, we're ready to undertake them as and when it's needed.